I'm just gonna keep it straight with us. What's going on, beautiful people? It's your host Drake, B Drake with Everything Culture, the podcast for all cultures, a podcast with a purpose. And this evening, Sunday evening at that, we are back with another Sunday Night Live where we go live every Sunday where we chop it up with our community, our guests, y'all. We get to know what's going on and let y'all know what we got going on. We working on putting out an episode this week. Bear with us. It's been a very busy weekend. We've been doing a lot of shopping, putting the office together. I think it's coming together very nice. All right. Still loving the new organization, a lot of positivity, a lot of good folks. And yeah, let's see. We still been talking about child abuse prevention month. We still got that going on. So I've been trying to share some tips and some advice how to be more aware about child abuse prevention and the history of child abuse and neglect, of course. I've been sharing some of my CPS tips and CPS tips and CPS stories from back in the day from my experience working at the agency. What else we got going on? Went to the gym, got a little bit of more, you know, felt good, felt nice. What else? What else? We missed shout out to Court. Court birthday was this past week. If y'all don't know Court is a big supporter of the everything culture community platform podcast, A1 Day One in it. Shout out to you. Hope you had a great week. Okay. I know she probably still celebrating. Who else? Who else? Who else? If I'm missing your birthday, let me know. Holla at me. Yeah, I'm perspirating a little bit. I just got finished helping. I was buying something from one of my new workers that start tomorrow, and I had to make a run to was it Dollar Tree or something like that, just some smaller trinkets and stuff, some candy, snacks, trying to make them a goodie bag. All right, leaving Amazon truck blocking my car, another woman's car blocking that Amazon truck. It was raining a little bit, but as soon as I see what's going on, I like, man, I asked them, do they have jumpers? Of course, that nobody have jumpers. I know I have jumpers, but it's raining, but I don't feel like getting them. But this kind of going to the point that we're going to discuss tonight. Being a good Samaritan, doing the right thing, being a leader. Ah, ah. I need to get that sound effect that doing the right thing, man. It's not always fun. It's not always comfortable. Being a leader, it's not always about the followers you have. It's about the sacrifice you make for your folks and would you do what they're doing. It's where you can take them, I would say. Or just have your own mindset, you know. What's up, Blanca Herrera? Welcome in. Hola. Thank you and welcome to Everything Culture. It can be hard sometimes, Chef. It can be hard. And so I like, man, it's raining. The Amazon dude took off. He was like, "Kurt," he like, I ain't got it. Laugh and like chunk the dudes. Yeah, it was an older woman. She had to be like in the 60s, maybe 70s. These older folks looking better and better every day. Younger and younger too. She had a grandchild in the back seat, and I like, dang, I gotta go. I wanted to start the show early, like at 6:30 or something like that, so I can be a little bit more well prepared. But I knew my jumper cables was under all the stuff I had in the trunk, and more it started pouring down, raining harder and harder and harder and harder. But I did it. I did it. I helped. I helped. I know God calls me to do things that other people refuse to do. I always think of people use all the time. You better than me, and I always say I am. I know I am. It's like I'm one of them folks that when you try to be slick at the mouth, I know I have a better heart than you. I don't know. But I ain't perfect. I have issues, but I hope I can be that change in somebody else's life. You never know what your good deed and your bad deed could affect someone. All right. Well, is it such thing as a bad deed, your bad behavior? So I try to be mindful of that. I don't try to hold myself on no pedestal there at all. I just try to be the individual God meant for me to be. All right. So it's that me and once again, I'm out there in the rain with my jumper cables, and I got some old jumper cables too, y'all. I may have me driving when I'm driving, but I got some old jumper cables I've been having since the car I had when I was in college. Okay, just kept on. Still got the yellow with the red, black, and yellow, red, and black. All the metal ain't even covered no more. Okay, hold on, let me see. Love that for you. I'm glad y'all. Oh yeah, I won't. People need people. I've been saying that. That's the reason, because of this platform, this podcast. People need people. And I ain't gonna lie, I was a little nervous being out in that rain with them jumper cables. All right. I don't want nothing on my hands wet. I'm soaking wet. And more I'm out there, harder it would rain. It'll just come down harder and harder. But was able to get the jump. She said, thank you. But like I'm trying to hold my umbrella, do the jumper cables with one hand, do all this. And I'm like, man, I just got it. Like, I didn't change clothes in the past 30 minutes. But, got it done. She went back. She could end up going back inside. And I think she cut her car off. Now that's where I'm out. Baby, I'm gone. I'm sorry. I told you not to cut your car off, okay? But you cut your car off for whatever reason. And I'm just praying her and her grandchild made it home safely. But yeah, I try to be the difference maker. That's it. Not always. I ain't gonna say if I'm able to be that, I'm gonna be that. All right. And what does that mean in the community? What does that mean in the family? I was talking about this a few weeks ago with family members that we need more people to stand up. We need more people to give. And I always share, hello, Denise. I always share that, let's say, if we have a family of 10 people, out of that 10, you may have one person that's willing to wash the dishes or go up and beyond. You're going to have at least, unfortunately, 3 to 4 that is a little problematic. Okay. Costing the family some stuff, having a lot of like you need to put life insurance on them a little earlier. I mean, you feeling me? You following me? That they ask for a lot. They pull a lot of resources from the family of 10, the village of 10. Okay. And the other 5 are kind of neutral. They kind of stick to themselves. They don't really help out a lot, but they don't cause a lot of issues as well. These numbers may fluctuate. All right. Is that what you say? High maintenance? That's like rescuing a bird, then it gets eaten by a cat. Hey, exactly, Shell. Exactly. But I'm always like that one person that is helping, the person that's giving the assistance, they need more help. Okay. Because you don't want that one to burn out. If that one can at least become a 5 in those 3 and 4s, or at least 3 out of the 4 becomes the neutrals, that's a lot better help and have that one. Because I don't expect perfection. I say that all the time. I do not expect perfection. I strive and I hope for progress. Am I making sense? Am I making sense to y'all? Generations, we should start making progress. Yeah, progress and change, man. Let me see if I'm gonna try to find this clip while I'm talking. If I can't find it, it's okay. I reshared it on my platform on TikTok. Younger woman kind of speaking essentially about this. Let me see if I can find it. Y'all bear with me. Let me find my page. But yeah, it's frustrating. It's truly frustrating because I try to give into I don't mind helping family out. That's helping themselves. I don't mind helping people out. helping themselves. We're all going to fall short of something from time to time. If I'm transparent with my platform. I'm transparent with my life. If anybody knows, my mother was the youngest out of what, six. Mm, mm, mm. Yeah, six. All right. But she was spoiled, okay? To my understanding and to my belief, she was spoiled, okay? She was treated fairly well. And coming up the youngest, they get a lot of attention, yada yada yada. But the issue is she grew up and had an expectation, I'm assuming, and she fell into the wrong crowds and started doing the wrong things. And I ain't even gonna put on the crowd. Sometimes my mom would share she was the person influenced other people doing the wrong thing. Okay. Let's just keep it a buck. All right. I'm more of a realist than a optimist. I'm an optimist, but I ain't an illusionist. Okay. I don't just believe in it. Listen, I grew up with my mother to a certain point in my life, and my mother, listen, my mother would do stuff. And when I was a kid, I was like, hey man, you shouldn't be doing that. Like you know how wild it is for you to be the child and you have to tell your mama, like, hey man, you shouldn't be talking about people like that. This is like me, 5, 6, 7, 8, young. I used to I said it all the time, man. Like people, my elders used to say, you just different. I didn't believe it, but boy, I be telling y'all, I am falling more and more into that point. I am just different. But my mother loved me, and my mother knew her flaws and stuff, and her ideology. Once again, she would have been a hoot here on TikTok and Facebook. She was messy, messy, messy. Listen, some of it like it didn't rubbed off on me. I ain't gonna lie. Once again, I ain't perfect. But the point of it I'm saying is she she was somewhat like the black sheep out of the siblings, And a lot when I go back home, when people see me, they, the older folks are like, it's wow, they can't believe whose son I am and position I have in life and what I'm doing and blah, 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 blah. Okay. Telling you, would have loved it. But because I wanted to break, I wanted to be that change. I don't want to repeat the cycles that happened in generations before me. I want to be more of a asset than a loss. I hate using the term loss, but I think it's a good way to put it together. And I realized at a young age was like, man, it used to frustrate me because people used to. I'm gonna come back to that. It used to bother me especially when I was in college, that I needed help, I needed support. You say you the black sheep, Arnisha? Get out of here. Oh, we gonna talk. We gonna talk. And I'm just like, when I was in college, I needed help. I needed this, and like, you don't want to ask, but I ain't gonna lie. I ain't even gonna hold you. I felt some type of way when my kin folks and family members would get support for their BS, for messing up, for continue. Like I remember, listen. If aunties, you're watching this, hey, kin folks, y'all watching this, y'all know I ain't lying. Y'all may not have known it, but it is. I remember they gave this car. I put money in this car. I put CD player in this car. I changed the speakers in this car. My auntie's ride. Okay, it was a Camry. All right, I can't even think. Was it a 9.6 Camry, something like that? I think once again, I paid insurance on this vehicle. I just knew. I just had a once again delusion, just delusional. I thought it just made sense to me that she was going to get a new car and she will give me this car when I go off to college. It just made sense to me. It didn't happen. I had to get my own car. I had to get a Cavalier. The Cavalier went out. Then I had to get a Impala. I had like three three Chevys, and Cavalier, Impala. I used to love them Impalas. Got pulled over left and right all the time. Shout out to Candy. But it got to the point where I didn't think she was gonna give up the car. Maybe she couldn't afford it or something along that nature. So you know what? I just said it is what it is, baby. Keep it shaking. But she turned around and she gives the car to her granddaughter. Hey, I understand. Am I happy with it? No. Do I think she's responsible? No. But I'm like, I could have took better care with that. What's up, my brother Jog? What's happening with you, man? I could have took better care of that car. But you know what? Thought take. It's whatever. But like, if I am being honest with y'all and transparent with my emotions, because I don't be, with the strong folks, you don't share your emotions a lot. You can be going through something, but nobody really care. Nobody really go do nothing about it. She gave the car away. That car got hulled out within like 3 months. Completely totaled. Oh, I was hot, but we didn't have social media and stuff. If we had the type of social media we had right now, I probably did go on Twitter and rant back when Twitter had the bird and the elephant carrying you. Y'all know my OGs know what I'm talking about. Boy, but I was hot. And the whole time, like, I probably would still be driving to the, I don't know, no cameras run long. Boy, I had some memories in that ride. But it got to that point that I hear quite often. I hear this. It wouldn't be the last. You're going to be okay. You're different. You don't need it because we know you're going to persevere out of this. And it's sometimes frustrating. And and once again, I know we're talking about community, but I always tell people your community start with you, your family, your neighbors, your if you want to go that's how community, it just continue to spread out, but it always start with you. Okay, but listen, I'm gonna play this video of this young woman. I hope they're okay with us sharing this. How it's gonna be okay. But yeah, this resonated quite well with me. How can I make this larger if possible?
One generational curse that really, really gets under my skin.
Stop that, young lady. Let's go back here. I don't know if I can make it the way I want to make it, but we'll just go play it. If you can hear it over here, we'll come back. Hold on, my boy Jock. Resilience lead to being overwhelmed and overworked. Say that, boy. Say that. That's right. I hear that so much. I'm numb to it, man. Listen. But we'll keep it shaking. Listen, I won't come back to. I'm gonna play this video, then we'll come right back. I like this. Play the video. Okay, now you want to ask Celia? Cool.
One generational curse that really, really gets under my skin and bothers me to no end is watching families choose to pour extra resources, extra time, and extra effort into the losers in their family instead of pouring more time and more effort and more resources into the people in their family who are trying to do right, who are trying to do better, who are trying to bring accolades and certificates and accomplishment to the bloodline. This aggravates me to no end because when you choose to put all this money, time, and effort into the fucking losers of your family, all you're teaching the next generation of your family that's coming up is if I'm hardworking and I make my own money and I can take care of myself and I make good decisions, what's that going to get me? My money taken from me because of
for whatever reason, it's rendering. I don't know what's going on. Hopefully I can see.
Family's going to ask me for money and then they're going to give it to my loser ass fucking cousin who hasn't done shit. Hasn't even washed his fucking ass this morning. Like, what is that? What is that? Why would you do that? What a curse. That's what you want to pour into is dysfunction, entitlement, dirt, grease, and disgusting laziness. That's what you want to sit here. That's what you want to sit here, and that's what you want to support. That's stupid. And I don't want to hear, oh, well, they need the extra help, yada, yada. They don't care. They don't care about the extra help because they feel like that's what you're supposed to be doing.
Yep.
They don't care. They don't think that there's any problems in their behavior because they are literally being rewarded for what they're doing.
Okay, we're gonna stop right there. I've seen it. Listen, I've seen people have kids after kid after kid. I've seen people blow through money, car accident after car accident. What's up, Gianna? How you doing? Welcome in. I've seen the different levels of like, why are y'all continuing bailing that person out? I'm like, some people got to hit rock bottom to understand how to get out of it. Hello, chocolate doll. How you doing? Some people got to hit that, man. But you got the person over here that may have made a significant change and supported everyone. Excuse me. But we did not give them support at that time. Hello, Cassie. How y'all doing? Thank you for the heart me. Welcome in. Once again, I don't think I even introduce everybody. Once again, if y'all new in here, y'all don't know who this is or this man talking about culture, community life, and family. I'm Drake, B Drake with Everything Culture, the podcast for all cultures, the podcast for the purpose. Our mission statement comes from the words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., which is he believed that men hate each other because they fear each other. They fear each other because they don't know each other. They don't know each other because of segregation. And because of segregation, we have miscommunication. So we created this podcast and platform on the pillars of respect, communication, and consistency so we can get to know each other, so we can love one another. If you ain't never been in here, this is a little bit more of an intimate podcast. We don't like being messy all the time. We really try to base our episodes and our conversations off fact, perspectives, and truth. All right. I can say facts, truth, and perspectives, however you want to put that together. And, we're talking about community, being that change your community want to see. And we always say it starts with family, but everything I talk about my family, I see it in the community in the same sense. I see so much like I don't have a high expectation for family. I just hope you hold it down, don't hurt each other, raise your children up right. And I don't want to see you on the news or see you locked up. I want to see you doing better. And sometimes you may want better for somebody else than they want for themselves. That's how I feel like seeing the community as well. But I'm truly family focused and family minded. I'm community focused, community minded. And it's stressful when you see, just like this woman that I saw in the middle of the parking lot with her grandchild in the rain, and nobody would help her other than me. What are we doing? Y'all heard me talk about, I've seen little kids walking down the street, nobody come and lend them a helping hand. How can they help you? But you see, I don't always share it online because it's just, you just do it. If I share it, I share it. But the thing is, I see it so frequently that we do not care about people. One of my listen, if I'm cooking, barbecuing, or anything of that nature, if you live, like if you would, one of any of my neighbors watching this right now, y'all know I'm gonna bring y'all some if I have enough. Or just if y'all at the house. I can't tell you how many times I go knock by the door, nobody there. One of my other neighbors will come through. He like, man, you trying to win neighbor of the year, something like that. I'm just doing what I believe neighbors should do. Love thy. That is as simple as that. What Jesus wants you to do, love thy neighbor. It's also it's not complicated. We can talk about where it went wrong because people tell us all the time on the platforms that we're on why they don't like their neighbor, why they don't like they just want to be left alone. They just don't want to have a connection to nobody else. It's child abuse prevention month. One of the best things is to know your community. Don't trust everybody, but know your community. You know what I mean? Same thing what we building right here. How often do we support? Do you really support each other? so many people looking for what they listen. If I've been in fraternities or whatever the case may be, one of the biggest things I say, I don't like when people come in, what can I get out of it rather than what can I put into it. If more people focus on what we can put into each other rather for what can I get out of the other person, I think we'll have it'll be a lot better life. You know, I think people would be happy in relationships. And being mindful, people get burnt out. But unfortunately, the most successful people, or once again, when we look at success or progressive, what people look at the people who use other people and manipulate other people. I sit back and look at some of y'all favorite content creators. Not y'all favorite sometimes, but I see people with large platform. I'm telling my family and my niece, 'cause I know she be following it out. This girl's a scammer. This person's a thief. This guy right here is an abuser. But you would, but whew, but just because they would trauma bond with you over something, but think they build a connection with you, and then you believe the things that they'll do. Listen, you got people. My homegirl was just talking about what's that boy named Nino Brown. If y'all been following me, y'all know how I feel about Nino Brown. What's up, Chaz? How you doing, Chaz? We're talking about being a change in the community, being a change in the family that you want to see. You have. I don't know what your family like, Chaz. I do not know. I don't know what your community like. But how do you represent? How do you show up in the community? What do? Do you volunteer? Do you give back? Do you donate? You know, how do you go? Like for instance, there you go, Kim right there. Nino Brown. Nino Brown is a person that Nino Brown, Scarface. We got to throw Franklin Saint up there now. These are type of people that I see people champion. And even though they're fictional characters, but they follow these type of individual in real life, and they really believe these are good people. So listen, I can't stand Scarface with a passion because he never wanted to help others. He was all about power. Same thing with Nino Brown. Nino Brown was a piece of shit. I can't even, sugarcoat that. But I see people like everything he said was false, was fake. We everything from cash. That's how I feel about actual Cash Money. The group, all these people right here are bamboozled into a fake sense of connection. Didn't I say a bond? Didn't I just say bonded? They feel like their connection. We all we got. CMB. He ratted out and killed everybody he was supposed to be close with. Everybody. Then the Brown was a model citizen. But if you listen to when the old man came upon him with, hey, your soul is reside in hell. Wait, listen. Favorite part of the movie. Favorite part. But people, I see so many people. You think it's young. So many people love that type of individual. Loving role models, but they post up. Listen. And that old man is the type of people we need in the community consistently. We wouldn't be in this type of condition in this country right now if we had more old men like that. I ain't even gonna say like that because the thing is, it took a long time to get there. It took a little bravery. It take courage. When are we tired of being sick and tired? You know, who's the Nino Brown in your community? Who's the guy that's putting babies in front of them while they putting poison in the community? And this ain't nothing new. I've been saying this, man. I've been saying this. That's how when I talk about with Cissy Saint and Franklin Saint, Cissy made the right decision. I like Franklin too. When Franklin got to that point when he went over to the edge, you know, you got to know when you can start out good and you become a villain, you know. Problem. Hold on, my cousin with the Nino Browns, but at the end of the day, they always encourage me to do better. But and that's the thing. That's why I say the fallacy. And I got family that was Nino Browns too. You a problem. That's what they are like, and you can have that connection with family bond, but you still got to count the problem with the problem. A lot of people will still defend R. Kelly, problematic. Just because you put turkeys in somebody's, you feed people every now and then, but you do so much more harm. It does not equate to the evil you done. Not saying you to be perfect, but the if we look balancing that scale, problem. And I always say, I ain't no fool. I judge people. I may not persecute you always, but I'm judging you. I judge myself every day I step out because that's what you scale. Now, and once again, it's one of those things when you know you have something out here, and this go for any ethnicity, anything out there that is hurting your people. And I talk about this. I believe the work that God put me in is because I worked at pawn shops and I worked at Renaissance. And when I worked there, I was still trying to do. I realized how predatory these organizations were. I was still trying to make changes, and I'm like, this is morally wrong. But was I getting broke off? Was I getting paid? Yes. Was it? I done told this story before. Y'all want to hear it again? Hold on, I promise I'm gonna judge you, but I don't do too much. Listen, when I say listen, you should judge. If somebody tell you jump off a roof, you should take the time and judge this person's character. Okay, that's what I'm saying. I can't say I'm not an addict, and I know what they're doing is not right, but at the same time, I try to be better. Listen, what's up, E-Man? What's happening with you, man? Okay, I'm gonna tell the story. I got you. I got you. We know what's right, and we have the skills and the tools we need to succeed. But a lot of people don't agree, and a lot of people know when. Like once again, people use people. I say this once again. If I wanted to be, I could be evil. Oh, I can be evil. I know how to manipulate people. It's too easy to manipulate. I can. Let me tell you. Whatever the Lord put the Holy Spirit in me. Hello, bittersweet, because I just know in another life I was a pimp. I just know. Easy too. Easy. But I'm like, and I just be seeing people throw their money away, and I'm like, I don't see it, yeah, but they don't. I be turning people away for doing so wrong. I always want to be a man until I learn that hell don't show up. You got to show. You got to put that work in yourself. You got to put that work in yourself. You got to knuckle up. Nah, let me make sure I say this. But so I've shared this story before. Then we go slide off on YouTube. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Make sure to tap the screen, share the live, all that good stuff. But I was working at a pawn shop, Cash America. This is in the year 2008. Oh, that's a lot. That's a lot. This is in the year 2005. This is before I moved to Houston. And, working there, making cool money, get along with all my coworkers. And my auntie, she used to host parties a lot in the community. My auntie and my grandparents and all my family had parts of being active in the community. My mother was active on maybe like more of I don't say I'm from the hood, I'm saying from the country. My mother was, cool talker. My uncle was a bootlegger. Once again, grew up around certain spaces. My auntie, she had a little bit more elevated sense of community. She used to have host parties, like women coming over, like playing spades or whatever the case may be, birthday parties. I learned how to pour drinks. See, I was a bartender. I need to get back into bartending. I know one thing I used to break when I was young making money bar. If I knew what I knew now. But case in point, one of my auntie friends, community, like she stayed like we're all on the north side or whatever. That's how we can put it. She'll come over with all of the ladies. They know me, Dre. Oh, I'm the young, I always looked older, handsome individual, whatever the case may be. I pour them the, what you call it, the Cape Cods, what's the women ones, I know how to pull up. Anyway, just little simple things. All right. And she came in the pawn shop, and she used to come in the pawn shop all the time. And the way y'all know how pawn shops work. If y'all don't, I'm letting y'all know now. Thank you for the gift, Kim. Appreciate you. So pawn shop works when you pawn. Let's say I need to pawn my PlayStation. Okay, this PlayStation 4. Don't pay no mind to it. But if I need to pawn my PlayStation, okay, I'm pawning. I need $100. Okay, they say, well, we can give you. Thank you, Kim. They say, well, we will give you 75. I'm like, dang, I need 100. But like, if I come in often, they may slide me that 100 because I'm good for it. They can look up and see how much it's worth, blah blah blah. But the reason is they give me that 75. I'm gonna have to pay with interest. I can get it out for 100. Okay. But if I don't have that 100 to get out when it's due within the next 2-3 weeks or 4 weeks, I gotta pay, let's say, $10 a week for them to keep it from going on the floor. You following me? Okay. I get $75 for my whatever I traded in, whatever I pawned in, I get $75 for it. Okay. It's gonna take $100 to get out within the next 3 weeks. If I can't get that $100 to get out over the next 3 weeks, I gotta pay an extension to it. All right. It's like interest. It's like almost storage fee. So I gotta pay $10 to keep it in per week. So I can come in and pay $20 until I drop it down because the interest, that's the way pawn worked. Now, why did it go? That's the way it worked. Okay. That's the way it worked. But if you had that 100, you just get it out and go. It's really when instead of pawning something, you can say you want to pawn it, but you should just sell it. Hey, just let it go. Okay. That's something I realize. Unless you know you can get it out, but a lot of people have addictions, and a lot of people, and that addiction could be from gambling, could be coochie, it could be whatever it may be, gambling, drugs, whatever the case may be. All right. So some people would continue to pay on that pawn over and over and over again, and that pawn will continue to increase. All right. I've seen people, I'll never forget the most they made, and the way the pawn shop don't get their full payout. It like goes into a saving until that pawn is paid out or that item was put on the floor. It was a guy, I worked in 2005. It was a guy paying on a saddle. If you from the country, saddles are expensive. Thank you for the heart, me, Sasha. Saddles are expensive, okay? And when you get to them saddles, when they get to a certain point, it's like, man, the saddle's gonna run up to $2,000, something like that. So the way you can do it, he pawned his saddle like in 1993. And he's been paying slow, like he'll pay that interest off more and more on that saddle. He paid that saddle off in 2005, y'all. My boss took us, thank you, Kim. My boss took us on he bought us the most extravagant dinner. He was so lit. He was a fool, but he taught me at that age. Because listen, okay, and I'm gonna bring it all the way back. So this woman used to come in. She used to pay on her pawn. She pawned all her mama's rings. Her mom used to have a gold ring. Her mom was in the bed. Her mom was like probably 80 something, older woman. She was like in her 60s. Okay, she pawned all her mama's rings. Okay, maybe her 50s. She pawned all her mama's rings. She used to come in and pay on her pawn. But the thing about, she got low on some money, and she was like, "Thank you, Arnisha." She was like, "Hey." This Friday, it was a Friday, she got on her knees and she begged my supervisor not to put her rings on her mama rings on the floor because she couldn't pay that week for the extension. And I saw this grown black woman get on her knees in front of this grown white man and beg him. Boy, when I tell you, hit my emotions like that bothered me. I'm 18, 19 maybe. And I'm in college. I'm going to junior college right now. And I'm like, not on my watch. So I had this whole plan cooked up. I'm going to wait till she come in, probably the next 2 Fridays. I'm going to make sure I'm checking her out. So if I check her out, I'm going to extend her pawn a little bit. She go pay like her maybe $30 for the week, maybe $50 for the week. And instead of just making it 1 week, I'm going to make it 3 weeks. So she come in, I planted. I'm talking, I'm watching. I'm back there checking out people. I'm going in the back, cleaning some stuff off, doing jewelry, doing a diamond test on people getting cussed out in front of they. Ooh, crazy. I got so many stories about the pawn shop. But the thing is, she come in, I see her. I see one of my co-workers go check it out. Like, I got it, Mondo, I got it, man. He like, hey man, I got it. But hey, Miss So, hey baby, how's it going? Now she's like a 6'1" black woman, tall black woman, whatever the case may be. And she's like, hey baby, what's going on? Like, good, how you auntie? And like, once again, she's been in my house. I've served her food, I served her liquor, libations. We've had good times. Okay. She know who I am. And we chopping it up, and I like, okay. I say, you paying on this, okay? And I'm going through old computer, and I peep. I like, hey, I'm gonna do this for you. I'm gonna extend you everything I just told you. I'm gonna extend your pawn like for another about 3 weeks, so you can have time to save up, and you can start knocking. You can start getting them out one by one. So I'm putting you ahead of the game, baby. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. I got you. I'm putting myself in a position that I'm working that I can help my community out. Now, for the people who've been here and heard the story before, y'all know how this goes. I'm gonna call her Miss Jones. Miss Jones cussed me smooth out. I'm talking. It wasn't even smooth. It was a rough cuss. Now, Miss Jones went off. You young, don't tell me how to spend my MF money. Like, I'm like cussing me out in front of the whole store. I'm like, whoa, I'm like legit. I'm standing back. I'm like fro. That's what I think. We talk about fight. What you call it? Fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. That's probably one of the only times in my life I froze. I was just like, I didn't know what to do. I was like, how is this happening? It does not compute. What do you mean? Like, what do you mean? Like, she's cussing me. Don't tell me how to spend my MF money. Shit. Like, well, I mean, like, I'm talking. She went off on me like a solid, not like 3 minutes straight, just like going off. And to the point, my supervisor go, God, I get this little out my face. This and that. You know me. That's all I kept saying. You know me. What? I'm trying to help you. I was just listen once again. It didn't. I was so loud. I'm going in the back, and I'm in the back. I'm cleaning out something. But listen, I wish my partner. He was in here the other day when I talked about my homeboy. Unfortunately, when they got shot and killed, innocent bystander. But he was there too. That's crazy. We was working together, and he was like, "Where's Drake? What the fuck you doing?" Like, I'm just like, and all of a sudden I get a call into the in the side in my manager's office, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm about to get fired. I've never been fired. What is going on? What's going on? And he said, Drake, hey, you're not in trouble. He said, close the door. You're not in trouble. You're fine. I know what you're trying to do. And I respect what you're doing. You have a good what you're doing is what we like about you. You have a good heart. You have a big heart. Full circle. Okay. You have a big heart. But you can't help everybody. Everybody don't want help. You could have some people that just go have a poverty mindset, and that's just where they're going to be. It's nothing you can do about it. They're either going to waste their money here, or they're going to waste their money somewhere else. I get paid when they waste their money here. You get paid when they waste their money here. So let's let them waste their money here. And that was a tough pill to swallow. Hearing that at the age of 18 from man. But let me tell you something. He wasn't wrong. That wasn't the last time I had someone sit me down and talk to me about that. And I've had other situations happen, but guess what? I've seen where if I was not in the position I am, and if I didn't have the heart that I have, a lot of people, and I'm not saying like y'all, but God knows this, and the people who I work with knows this. People, they would not be in a position. They would not be here today. And you know what? I would still see Miss So and So coming. We wouldn't talk to each other. I'm like, listen, I know I didn't tell my auntie about this until like 10 years ago when I'm like 30 something. And she was like, "Oh, I wish I would have known. I would have beat her." Like she was like, she got boiled up because she know her. She was like, well, "Why you didn't tell me this?" I knew I didn't want no drama. You know, I'm about to go out of town. Auntie, she just got diagnosed with breast cancer. I didn't want no problems. You know what I mean? But when I tell you something, then when I worked at Rent Center, same thing. No pay. No, people would just mess their money off left and right. And sometimes it's just a mindset. It's like once again, it's like an addiction. Some people listen. I know my flaws. I know my issues. Okay, and it's not is you can't judge, but at the same time, you got to build your boundaries. You got to pray for people because I can't help them. Maybe Jesus can. Well, I know Jesus can if they choose to. You know yours who Arnisha. Okay, hey, what's up, twin? Hey, thank you for the likes, man. But yeah, what do you want to who like? And this thing is, I hope we have more people that want to do good rather than bad, help people rather than hurt people. I just know what I'm here to do, and I hope I'll continue to find a village of folks who I can grow with, build with, love, and go forward. And I hope y'all be a part of that here with everything culture, man. That's all I wish for. I would say, a lot of people that I have assistants be like, man, how you ain't at this amount of followers? You've been doing this, you don't want to be shouting us out. You know how many motherfuckers done shouted me out? Ooh, ooh. All I'm saying, so I'm thankful for the folks that do support. And when I say but I know everybody's not built like me. And yeah, we just go try to be better than the day before, love one another, grow. Shout out to Pie Fam. Shout out to my people Gigi, Baylor, Shan. We have a great time. Shout out to Jaya. Shout out to Arnisha. Shout out to Mia. Shout out to Kim. Who'll be coming through the A&N tonight. Shout out to Christian. Shout out to Court. Once again, happy birthday, Court. Shout out to Chef. They'll be coming through. Shout out to the folks I ain't seen in some time, The love is still there. All right. But we just gotta stay, taking care of ourselves, taking care of one another, and going forward. Okay. Look forward to showing y'all my office this week. But overall, man, y'all have a blessed week. Make sure to leave a rating for the podcast. Let me know what y'all want to hear. I'm thinking about doing either it's that I'm gonna record my hometown folks from Tyler, Texas, or I'm gonna do a full recording of get back doing the makings you with my family again. But we got to get to it. We got Mother's Day, Father's Day coming up. We getting shaking, and we got ready for the birthday too. B-Day live episode, live recording coming up. Y'all got any suggestions, ideas, places here in Houston? Put me on game. We're making it happen. We turned 4-0 this year, and we love it. All right, y'all have a great one. Peace. All right.